Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are going to crack open one of the most critical topics in tech right now, explainable AI. We're going to pull back the curtain and try to understand how these incredibly powerful AI systems are actually making their decisions. Okay, let's just dive right in with a scenario that's, well, it's becoming pretty common. Imagine an algorithm denies your loan application or your job application. Maybe it even flags something in a medical scan. This decision could change your life, right? But the reason why it made that decision is a total mystery. So shouldn't you have the right to know why?
And that exact situation brings us straight to the heart of the issue with so many of our most advanced AI systems. It's what we call the black box problem.
I mean, think about it. We trust these systems with incredibly critical tasks. We're talking about financial markets, healthcare, even self-driving cars. We can feed them data, and we can see the decision that pops out the other side, but the complex reasoning happening inside, it's often completely hidden from us. And that opacity, that lack of transparency, creates huge challenges for accountability, for trust, and just for basic fairness. So, how do we fix this? I mean, how are we supposed to build trust in systems that we can't fully understand? Well, the solution comes from a really critical and fast-growing field called Explainable AI, or XAI for short. Really, at its heart, XAI is all about making artificial intelligence transparent and trustworthy. The whole point isn't just to build models that are super powerful and accurate, but to make sure they're also fair, accountable, and actually understandable to the people who have to rely on them every day. And you can see the fundamental shift right here. We're moving away from that mysterious black box where the why is just a big question mark, and we're moving towards a transparent process where you can actually see the logical steps. With XAI, the explanation becomes just as important as the output itself. It's about building trust right into the system from the get-go.
Okay, so how does XAI actually open up that black box? Well, it's not magic, right? It's a whole set of really powerful techniques. So let's take a look inside the toolkit at a few of the most important ones.
First up, we've got one of the most popular techniques out there. It's called LIME, which stands for Local Interpretable Model Agnostic Explanations. Let's break down what that actually means. So what makes LIME so powerful is that it really simplifies the problem. It takes just one single prediction, like that loan denial we talked about, and it builds a simple local model to explain just that one decision. It's basically like asking the AI, hey, forget the big picture for a second. Just for this one specific case, what were the top few things that made you decide this way? All right, next up, let's look at an even more comprehensive technique. This one's called SHAP, which stands for Shapley Additive Explanations. Now, SHAP really takes things a step further. What it does is it assigns an importance value to every single feature that influences a decision. You can think of it like a team project where every single person's contribution is measured precisely. So SHAP doesn't just tell you what mattered, it tells you how much each factor pushed the final decision in one direction or the other. This is just fantastic for understanding both individual predictions and the model's overall logic. And finally, let's look at an approach that is maybe the most intuitive one for us as humans. It's called counterfactual explanations. Counterfactuals get right to the point. They answer the what-if question. So if your loan gets denied, a counterfactual explanation would tell you the smallest change you could have made to get it approved. For example, if your income were just $5,000 higher, you would have been approved. This is so incredibly powerful because it's not just an explanation, it's actionable advice. It tells you what to do differently next time. And, this push for explainability isn't just some academic exercise happening in research labs. Nope. Regulators and governments all over the world are now demanding that AI systems become more transparent, especially when the stakes are high. I mean, we're seeing it everywhere. You've got the NIST framework in the US pushing for trust. You've got the huge EU AI Act, which flat out mandates explainability for things like credit scoring. And then you have similar frameworks popping up in Asia. The message globally is crystal clear. If an AI is high risk, it has to be explainable. It really feels like the era of unaccountable black boxes is starting to come to an end. But of course, making AI explainable isn't as simple as just flipping a switch. It's not that easy. Developers are constantly having to navigate a really fundamental trade-off. And this really gets to the central dilemma. So often, the most accurate, highest performing AI models are also the least transparent. They're the biggest black boxes. So making them explainable can sometimes mean you have to sacrifice a little bit of that performance. And on top of that, these XAI techniques add to the computational cost. They take more processing power. And a good explanation for a data scientist might be complete gibberish to a doctor or a loan applicant. It is a really complex balancing act. So where do we go from here? What does the path forward actually look like? How do we build an AI-powered future that we can really, truly trust? Well, it looks like the future of responsible AI really comes down to collaboration. We absolutely need clear, standardized metrics from policymakers. We also have to remember that while XAI is great at helping us find bias, it's not a silver bullet that can fix it all by itself. And maybe most critically, the explanations have to be designed for the person who's actually using them, whether that's a doctor, a judge, or, you and me. This quote really says it all. Explainable AI isn't just about building smarter algorithms. It's about making sure that as this technology gets more and more powerful, it stays aligned with our human values. It's about bridging that gap between pure technical innovation and our ethical responsibilities. And that leaves us with the big question that really all of us need to be thinking about. As AI gets woven deeper and deeper into the fabric of our society, the challenge of making sure we can understand and trust its decisions, well, that's only going to become more urgent.